Okay, hello. I hope you are having a great lunch. And I only have 273 slides, so this is going to be fast. Okay, jokes apart, because of the time, let's start with the talk. I'm here to share some work and project that we are working at rOpenSci. In this nonprofit organization, we foster a culture that value open and reproducible research using shared data and reusable software. And how we do that? We have several projects that we are running, and I will tell you a little bit about this today. So our first big project, it is a statistical software peer review. But it's also software with the statistical aspect too. We have a transparent, constructive, non-adversarial, and open review process for our packages. How that works? We have a pre-submission inquiry. People can ask, hey, I want to send my package for you to review. Is this on the scope of what rOpenSci can review? And this is, for example, that the package fit one of the 7 categories of the statistical software we review now, for example. This inquiry is happening on GitHub as an issue, and all the peer review also happens on this GitHub issue. So the review is open and transparent, and the process continues until the package is accepted, and we have an acceptance of 100%, because our goal is to improve the software that we build and use for doing research. Our goal is not to have higher rejection percentage. So this process, the authors and the contributors, the maintainers of the package has a chat, a dialogue with the reviewers. They improve the software until we accept them, and then they become part of our suite. What kind of things we request for this package? To what kind of things we review? We review they have a license, an open license, that have a complete documentation, that have a high trace coverage, a readable code, and how the usability of the package, of their function is, and how we can improve. And then we have a nice bot that you can call during the review for do automatic task. So the idea is, for example, that the bot do some of these first check about the test coverage and give the reviewers some idea of how much is lacking, or review the license, what kind of license the package have. So all these automatic tasks are removing from the tasks that a reviewer has to do. So they're mostly boring because they're always repetitive and the same kind of tasks for each one of the package we review. And we also avoid that the reviewers has to be changing from platform. So you don't have to go from the PDF to the web page to the review system. You do everything on GitHub and in that issue for each one of the packages. This review process, we create a book, a guideline with good practices on how to review and how to develop package that is used by the reviewers and by the author of the package, and was an inspiration for the Journal of Open Source Software and for rOpenSci, our sister organization for the Python languages. The other project that we have is called rUniverse. And in this project, we try to improve publication and discovery of research software, again, in the language R. So this is a screenshot of our universe. You can create your profile there, and you also create this profile on GitHub, and you can choose what kind of package you will publish on our universe, and our universe will automatically build in all that you need for your package can be installed in every operating system. You can use then install packages to do this installation. So you don't need that this package is on CRAN or Bioconductor, or you don't need to use the GitHub installation. You can do publication of package with data that the size is too big to be allowed to be published on CRAN. And we also have a lot of measuring and monitoring tools, so you can analyze the state and evolution of the ecosystem, our ecosystem in general, and our universe in particular. And search and discovery tools. You can search by a language, by an author, by a topic, by keyword, and you have every data about your package, the vignettes, the examples on our universe. The other project that we are working in is trying to have multilingual publishing. And I really like this episode of Modern Family, where the character that's played by Sofia Vergara say, "Do you even know how smart I am in Spanish? Because I feel so identified." As you can notice, English is not my native language. Spanish it is. So I not feel so confident speaking in English as I feel in my mother tongue. And the last Linux Foundation report about diversity, equity, and inclusion in open source highlight as one of the great barriers, environmental barriers, they call the language. The predominant language of open source, and I will say other open initiatives, is English. It is in code, in content, and in community integrations. And also how good your English is a metric that people use, conscious or not, to judge you and your personality. Because come on, how these people should know something, you have this choppy English, and that happens even if you don't want that happens. So how we can help to download this kind of barrier? Well, we are trying to publish our materials in several languages. So we start to build an infrastructure for localization and internationalization of our website, our books, I hope our packages. Translation is typically the most time-consuming component of localization and internationalization. And when you work on the translation of living documents like the one we have, you need one first big chunk of work to accomplish a first full translation, and then you need to work to maintain, synchronize the different languages in which you have your documentation. So we are now developing our package that use DeepL, the translation API. So we create a field pull request with, for example, Spanish, and then we have humans, people reviewing this translation, and an editor who check that all have sense and merge the change to, for example, the developer guide. It is this process here. And then we have a localization memory with a translation guide where we decide and discuss how we handle gender mark. Do we translate code? What part of the code we translate? How we handle references to other material? Do we change or do we do the reference whatever language it is? Style and format and checklist. And we also have a glossary because we need to decide what kind of words we are going to translate and which one we are not going to translate. For example, we don't translate pull request. It is in English, but it's also how we call that in Spanish. And then the last project we have that trying to bring a more diverse open source research community. It is our Champions program. That started last year. We believe that research software should serve everyone. And that means that has to be built by and for all groups. Right now, the open source community is mostly white, male, English native speaker, and from people who live in the global north. So we are trying to change that with this program that is focused on people from historically and systematically excluded group that wants to contribute to open source. And we provide them a space to identify, recognize, and reward these leaders. So we did a call for applications. We have application from the part of the world that you see on the map with some color. 74 people apply for being champions, 28 apply for being mentor from 31 countries. And we choose 10 champions and 10 mentors, which is these people that you can see here. And they are going to get training on how to develop packages, beginner and advanced, how to run good and active events, so then they can do outreach tasks in their own community. And they are going to have one mentoring to develop the project. The project can be to create a new package, to send one of their package to review. We have, for example, several packages in Spanish, and some of the people will become a reviewer for rOpenSci. So during 1 year, they will be working on this with our support, so they can, we hope, in an easy way, be able to start to be contributors, and we help us to understand what else they need to other people from their community can also become contributors to our OpenSci and our project in general. If some of you are interested in this and want to participate, we have also a book on how you can participate. It is this guy, and this book presents what you want to do, and then presents to you several paths to this participation. And finally, here are my contacts. So if you want to write me or you want to book a meeting with me to chat about these things, I will be more than happy to do it. So that is all for me, very fast, but I hope I finish on time.